Hello, strangers. Hello. Bloody hell, not seen you since before cows pissed milk. How are you? Did you have a nice Christmas? Good New Year and all? Or did you spend it lonely with no presents, no cards, microwave meal for one, idly playing out your own funeral in your head? They'll miss you when you're gone, won't they? They'll have a right old cry up on that pulpit while Aerith's theme from Final Fantasy VII's playing. I had a marvellous time in Penzance, watching Cornish people swim naked in a sea of ice, because if you're from a deprived coastal council estate and crazy's all you got, you flaunt that shit, girlfriend. And utterly decimating Mrs. Fraggers on the dance machines in the arcade, which is funny, because she's the one always asking me to take her out dancing. Fuck me, woman. You can't even string 4 steps together to Jam Jam Reggae AMD Swing Mix by Rice C featuring Jam Master 73. How do you think you're gonna look in a damn ballroom? Anyway, good to be back here on Retro Rumble with Toze and Bandai's Frankenstein: The Monster Returns, released in 1990 for the NES. A competent Castlevania knockoff with a script forged from absolute gold, beautiful, insanity-inducing gold, which begins right now. Go to stage 1. Don't worry, the game will do that for you. Sounds like an order, but it's just talking to itself. I'm not going to drag up the tired point about Frankenstein being the name of the mad doctor and not the monster. It's not even... It's like, people who can't distinguish between the determiner and the contraction of the word your, It's just something you have to live with. Nothing short of barbaric experimentation on human genetics is ever going to make it go away, so... You just have to live with that dull stabbing pain in your soul every time somebody brings it up. Alright, so, we are plainly in Castlevania territory here, with the whip being swapped out for a range of melee weapons, including this deadly chicken drumstick. Now, I picked up a red orb there, and so long as you can keep hold of that, this is going to be a very easy ride, as it allows you to fire projectiles, rather than forcing you to fudge your way through the game with the fuck-awful close quarters fighting. Get hit just the once and you'll lose it, so never ever get hit after you've picked up the red orb. Or you'll have to punch Frankenstein to death, which to the game's credit works about as well as it would in real life. There's a couple of instances in the game where you can wander off the beaten track to get some bonuses, and as you'll see in a minute, an optional boss. Just a heart in this one, making it an utterly pointless detour on our so far biblical no-hit run, but still. Nice to be inside where nothing's trying to murder you, right? So, going by the plot and the introductory text in the manual, this appears to be some sort of insane bastard sequel to, I want to say the Universal movie rather than the book. In the movie, Frankenstein's monster burned to death in a windmill like a Dutch drunk, whereas in the book he just sort of sailed off to the North Pole, I guess, to make his fortune by chucking Santa in the sea and usurping his Christmas empire. Here's your optional boss, Barber from Zelda 2, Water Dragon. Treasure! Look at that. The fight starts with fireballs spawned right under your fucking toes. Nice try, scaly weasel. Water Dragon my balls. You're a sewer drake at best. Fighting a toilet worm. What you hope isn't a chest full of the townspeople's feces. Welcome to Frankenstein: Monster Returns on NES. But really, we've won ourselves an orange life potion, as you can see by the new L symbol on the bottom of the screen, which will completely refill our life bar at a time that we alone choose. The last area of this game is full of annoying fucking bosses and enemies, so we're going to take every opportunity we can to grab these on the way, which will allow us to just tank our way through the more aggravating sections. Back out into the big wide world. There's another door just over here with a grief-stricken old man that we'd be foolish to pass up, for this isn't just any grief-stricken old man. It's Emily's father, who will give us anything to have his daughter return before he drinks himself to a lonely death in this tavern. Don't mind if I do, old timer. Don't mind if you still gotta work for it. Like, he can't just give you the fucking potion. He makes you bend down in front of him and get it out the chest first. Give lonely old man a warm thought in these cold times, will you, lad? At least till I get my Emily back. Alright, here's your next boss. Grim fucking Reaper. He's one of the only bosses that doesn't talk shit to you before you fight him, which, you know, is really to his benefit. If you talk a big game and then get knocked the fuck out, I mean, there's really no salvaging your pride there. Right, do not let this fucking bird touch you. It will grab you and take you back to the start of the level. Here's one from the MC Escher School of Geometry. Ground gives way, fall down a long hole, end up on top of a cliff with a flying horse. Slaying it. Of course, it's going to be much safer to stay and fight the mighty demon horse than it is to run away, unless we trigger another rift in space and time, flee through a tunnel, and end up fused to the ceiling of a leper colony. So, you'll be pleased to know that the great and unrivaled demon horse has earned his reputation not so much through any kind of physical or martial prowess, as much as flying around like a big girl at the top of the screen and waiting for his opponents to keel over with cramp from trying to jump 10 feet in the air to hit him. The bosses do kind of take fucking forever to put down in this game, and you really do notice because they come from the early Castlevania school of being pitifully easy to defeat. Off to the glue factory with you, son. You'll never race again. You have acquired a sword. From where, this game will never tell. What terrible, shameful things you had to do to acquire the sword. That's right, you better hop away, Frankenfrog. God, my run's not much better. Password. Why do NES passwords sound like somebody being gagged and thrown into the back of a truck? Anyway, here we are in the woods with some new giant disembodied mouths to kill that look like they've been pulled straight off the faces of a racist 1930s caricature. You gotta pick the red orb up again here. You get your projectiles taken away from you at the start of each new stage, which is balls and unfair, but here's some sort of small tree with an attitude problem who's begging to have it cured. You better run, you bark-ridden coward. Come back when you've grown some fucking leaves, son. Dryad, bitch. I'm obviously not a completely incompetent player, so you won't see this, but if you let these flying lip beasts get hold of you, they'll just suck on your head until you die. What alternative purpose do these strange creatures serve Frankenstein when they're not Japanese fetish kissing our noble hero to death? Oh child, cover your ears and run as swiftly as you can from this terrible place. The answers will haunt you. Blade Master's just up this cliff at the end here. Not that there's any indication that you need to climb it, nor do you ever climb anything else in the game like this, but Blade Master's my favourite NPC in a title full of classic characters, and here's why. I, the great and invincible Blade Master, have been struck down by a creature whose entire attack plan consists of fleeing to the top of the screen. Anyway, if you try to walk past Blade Master, he'll just keep talking to you, so you respectfully perform a standing 9-foot jump over his prone body and continue on your way. Without rubbing it in that you easily butchered the same joke of a boss that I guess must have inadvertently kicked him in the head while it was trying to escape combat of any form in a blind panic. But greater matters face us now, as the petulant young sapling has returned, this time with the Statue of Liberty in tow. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. But it was no use. The little sapling had left to become a man. Many years later in the future, he would be hacked down and made into the pages of a magazine about World War II era aircraft where, issue by issue, you could build your own scale model of the iconic Blackburn Botha, the winged death trap that frequently plummeted out of the sky to crash into pilots that weren't even flying it, and sometimes other, better planes out of jealousy. First issue only 99p or subsequent issues 21.99, containing increasingly smaller and cheaper parts of the plane until you really are just gluing blister pack shavings next to the fuselage and praying for the best. Haha! Got you in the cutscene, bitch! Ah! Right in my fucking eyes! Medusa has been robbed of literally all of her famous petrifying abilities here, so the only things you can really do to you is amuse you by slithering relentlessly into your magic glass while trying to wipe your cowardly wizardry out of her eyes. That said, we're cutting it a bit closer. There we go. Now she's a flying head. So if you were thinking, well, they ripped Medusa out of Castlevania, but at least they didn't just straight up copy the whole boss design. Haha! You got burned for trusting in the honest nature of people. If you're awesome and cynical like me, you can come on over to the cool corner. Food's great here. But is it really? Anyway, besides looking like she's from the Fisher-Price range of my first mythological abominations, Medusa would actually be a great introductory boss for younger gamers because she'll only ever dive at you when you jump up to hit her. That's pretty much her entire game plan. Fly into your sword. Also, she takes fucking forever to kill. And kids, well, they love repetitive shit, don't they? God, he's come back from the grave, a right bloody gob on him, hasn't he? He couldn't string two moans together in the film, and now he's woken up with a shit-talking game of Conor fucking McGregor. He does this right the way through the game, by the way. Hangs around mocking you, then runs away. You're not strong enough yet, pussy! Well, kill me now then, you great idiot jigsaw. And your player character's always going, where's Frankenstein? Where's he gone? Which means you can hear him, but you can't see him. Quite the achievement, considering he's 8 motherfucking feet tall, so he's shouting all this at you from behind a big bush, or up the top of a fucking tree or something. You don't get any magic in this level for ages, which makes fighting these flying bodybuilders an enormous pain in the arse. You do get some nice novelty jumping tombstones though. Is this one gonna do it? Whoa. No. Fuck off, mates! These great flapping twats really get on my fucking tits, I swear to you. They wait until you have to jump over something and then come barreling at you while you're in midair. You see the earth itself freaking out there if you try to hump the tombstone. What are you doing, you deplorable creature? What? For fuck's... I'm not playing at my flawless best today, lovelies. I'll freely admit that. I'm distracted. I've got a cold. I'm gassy. I've got kids. I mean, they're not around right now, but soon they could be. This guy is the leader of the Flying Electric Gym Bras. You can tell because he's palette swapped. Leaders are always a different colour to their subordinates. There's a shocking amount of hierarchical racial supremacy in these older video games. If you weren't born green, you ain't getting shit. Alright, we're going to skip a couple of doors in this section because they only contain hints for a secret that I'm about to show you anyway, so I'm not going to waste my time or yours. I only went in there to avoid the skeleton. I have absolutely no idea how to safely kill it without getting hit. You can't jump it, you can't hit it before it hits you because it's wielding a meter-long fucking pitchfork, so run like a bitch or get a belly full of pain. That's the key we want. Really, you don't have to come down here at all. You can just go up the stairs at the start of the stage, but how did I do that? I've never once even come close to jumping that skeleton. I should be happy about it, but can I do it again here? Really? You ran away so I'd fucking land on you? Really? Frankenstein the Monster returns for NES, ladies and gentlemen. Where cowardice is an offensive maneuver. Alright, so the clues you get in the two rooms that we didn't enter tell you to look for the key, which we did, and use the key between the two keys, which is some sort of gibberish that amounts to walking through this hidden passage in the wall here. Don't ask me how I ever figured that out when I was a kid. Your guesswork gets you the ultimate magic attack a stage early though, the three-way fire. Meant only for the top tier bosses, now available to blast the screaming fuck out of our foes in the here and now. Alright, here we go. Falling tridents and living statues aplenty in this pair of corridors. They're actually armed with a popular mid-16th century European weapon, the boomerang, which really is neither of those things, so what it's doing here is anybody's guess. But a little boomerang fact for you here. They are not exclusively an Australian Aboriginal invention, as boomerangs have been discovered in the arsenal of Stone Age Neanderthals, then making their way across the globe to places as far-reaching as the Carpathian Mountains and ancient Egypt, where King Tutankhamun owned a very large collection of many different kinds. In a sense, he was the original Captain Boomerang, long before Jai Courtney and that deeply awful Suicide Squad movie. My god, have you ever seen anything so bull-shrivelingly awful as a Suicide Squad movie? He wasn't bad in it though, surprisingly. Time now for another boss. Let me just start this battle off by saying that this guy's real name should be the Liar Blabberer, because there are stairs to the top, as you'll see when we walk up them momentarily. Plus he's keeping precisely no gates or anything else. I mean, you get an orange life potion for defeating him. That's it. So you're really left with a somewhat poignant battle with a creature that can't quite accept his station in life. Wasn't born green. His only crime, green privilege in this day and age. Appalling. Right, here are the stairs that don't exist. Whoa, how am I even climbing them? This is just spitting in the face of science. And here's another boss. Here's another one that'd rather make excuses than fight me. This is like one of the only games I can think of where the main boss of the game refuses to kill you on the grounds that it would somehow mean lowering themselves to your level. Why'd you want to solve all your problems by firing death magic out at frags? Can't we just talk about this? I mean, I've completed this a few times now, and I still have absolutely no idea what Frankenstein's endgame is supposed to be. He turns up, burns down a village, kidnaps a girl. He never does anything with her, nor does he ever indicate what he means to do with her. He just carries her around for the whole game like a handbag, or a coat he doesn't know where to hang. Maybe he's just looking for a river to throw her in like he did to that kid in the movie. I can't swim, you idiot. I don't care! There you go, I'm worth fighting now I've killed his butlers. Dark Warrior is quite possibly the biggest pussy yet. Hit him once, he kills over like you've just lumped him in the balls, tries to teleport away to cry in another room, remembers he can only actually teleport over distances no greater than a foot, and really just repeats this entire sorry process for an agonizing amount of time. He's pretty much exactly the Grim Reaper boss we fought at the start of the game, except Grim took his ass kicking like a man, didn't try to palm me off on a bunch of fucking statues first. I think he can fire lightning if you let him, but why? There we go. Don't want to bring shame to your people? Don't make me piss myself. I'll take you, come on, jump in. I want fuel money though, not a taxi service. Even though accepting money would technically make him one. So yeah, we got a new green sword, which has also turned us green for some reason. And off we fly to the evil dimension, which doesn't even have a map screen because it's so evil! No man has dared attempt to chart its sheer malevolence. It's your typical video game evil dimension. It looks like you're crawling around in the rectum of a galactic terror squid, with all sorts of grotesque growths popping out of the ceilings and the floors to spit grim looking filth at you. You'll have seen a red potion just back there. In the manual it tells you that they take your life away, but what they actually do is reset your life bar to the amount of points you had at the start of the game, and cure you to that. So if you're clinging to the far side of death's door with your fingernails, they're an option. Another stage here where a lack of starting magic cripples the fuck out of you. We'll pop one of our orange potions here. As long as we've got a couple left for Frankenstein, we'll be fine. But time for another of Frankie's Hollywood pals now. See, man, Wolf doesn't care who you are. He'll fight you. His only condition is that you have a digestive system. I have no idea what this fucker's pattern is, so I just crouch down and batter the piss out of him with the sword. Trying to jump around him usually gets you killed. There we go. We get the three-way fire back now, which gives us a fighting chance against the sentient attack goo for the rest of the level. Leave the screen from the right. Enter from the left! Curse you, evil dimension! These flying sprouts are incredibly useful in that they drop the godlike blue potions, so it's pretty difficult to get yourself in trouble on this section. Unless you're an idiot. You're not an idiot, are you? Is it just me, or did you get the feeling that maybe Frankenstein was drafted in as a villain at the last minute here? I mean, this entire setup screams nameless evil wizard more than anything, doesn't it? Even if you want to go by the novel, in which Frankenstein's monster did manage to pick up a respectable grasp of the English language, it's a bit of a leap to cast him as an interdimensional sorcerer with the dialogue of a comedy foreign dictator from a Steven Seagal movie. Yeah, puny fool! How can you hope to triumph over one such as I? Although, I must admit, you do show spirit. Ooh, yeah! He's just the worst excesses of every anime villain stuffed into the skin of a beloved horror character, isn't he? Here we go again. Gotta fight the boss balls now. You've eaten your sprouts. Now eat some nuts. I mean, what else could they be besides a pair of giant neutered testicles? Honestly. We're fighting balls inside a giant arse. This is why gaming wasn't acceptable as an adult pastime for decades, folks. This is why it took Call of Duty to make that happen. I like how the face in the background on the right looks absolutely appalled by what it's seeing here. This is an evil dimension, not a sex dungeon for violent lunatics. Stop! Stop, for the love of God! Right, Dracula's up next. I'm, not kidding. So we move from the evil dimension to the dark world now. Man, can't keep up with the layout of this crazy hellhole. This is pretty much the exact boss fight from Castlevania, except that instead of teleporting around, he just turns into a bat to change positions, so it's a lot easier to keep track of him. It might be hard to see here because I'm absolutely leathering the shit out of him, but the vampire's one attack is to open his cloak and fling a bat out at you, which I'm kind of vaporizing the minute they enter existence. So again, a lot like the Castlevania fight where he opened his cloak to launch fireballs at you. Well, we got a bomb for our troubles there, which is just worse than useless. Near the end now though, so let's press on. Here we are in the pitfall room with the swinging vines, which is way more difficult than it looks. You have to be dead on point jumping from rope to rope in here. If you're out on the end of the rope by even a pixel, you go in the drink and you die. But we bossed it. I don't know how to kill this motherfucker either. The bomb does dick all. You lost your magic, so you just gotta take the hit and jump over him, I guess. Look who's back for another go round. It's our old pal, Dark Warrior, who's clearly had second thoughts about the sword and the free ride to Frankenstein's pad that he gave us. Wait. Did I give you a spectral blade of otherworldly power and personally chauffeur you to the boss's hideout? Fuck. That wasn't what I meant to do. You might take a bit more of a beating off of him without your magic. Booga booga booga! So, Frank is finally sewn a pair on and decided to fight you, which, in lurid contradiction to all of his majestic posturing, really amounts to leaping around the room like a terrified cat and swinging blindly for your face. Meow! I don't want a bath, I don't want to go to the vets. Frankie, come on, get in the cage. Fuck off! You get in the cage! He's probably exhausted from carrying Emily around for about 200 miles. Heavier than she looks, ain't she, boy? Oh, fucking hell. It's all gone to pot now. Don't let him hit you. Sensible advice for any boss, but he's got George Foreman hands, this fucker. There we go. His death shocks this door enough for it to open in dismay. How Emily knows that or is carrying actual fire is beyond me, but whatever. Here we are, Frankenstein's final form, and he's gone the traditional route of evolving into something far too large to comfortably fit in the room or move around in it. So instead, he's going to take a knee, like he's about to give me a real heart-to-heart about how it's okay to lose the big game so long as I give it my best shot, and spit fireballs at me. Now, once you get rid of that pesky hand, you need to aim for the open stump that's left behind. And once you've hit that about 70 million times, his body will be completely consumed by fire. Yes, fire. Fire that Emily was holding onto for the whole time, but refused to use on him to escape or slow him down. Fire that is Frankenstein's only true weakness, and yet here he is, spitting it endlessly out of his fucking face. Now you can see now why we saved all of our orange potions for this fight. You know, this endless stream of fireballs seems to have absolutely no discernible pattern or break in them, so... Yeah, I guess if I wanted to be careful, I could dodge my way through them and hit them wherever there was a rare opening, but good lord, we'd be here forever, wouldn't we? Alright, now his head detaches and attempts to flee his burning body while still spitting fire. This part of the fight is much easier so long as you stay behind it where it can't hit you. It's kind of strange how only Frankenstein and Medusa are the only bosses in the game to have more than one form. Frankie, you know, sure, fine, he's the final, but Medusa? Not Man Wolf or Dracula? I mean, in general, this game takes more shit than it deserves. It's not horrible, it's okay, but everything about it is just so half-assed, apart from the plot and the dialogue. Somebody worked way too hard on those. And it does have one of the only instances I can remember of Dracula working for Frankenstein, not the other way around. Take it, you lurching stack of Frankenfuck. Frankenstein's gangrene-ridden body blows itself to shit. And here comes Emily with a far manlier run than, Frags. Fuck. Should have thought that one through better. And there you go, roll credits. Man, don't you miss the days when nobody gave their actual names on credit rolls? Mr. Rice, Mr. Exit, Mr. Timetable. They sound like 11th tier Mega Man villains. Doppelponder. It's like a frog's porn star name. Cha-Cha. With a heart emoji. They're just taking the fucking piss now, aren't they? This is illegal. Kraken Mummy! Kraken Mummy! Now that's not even a porn star name. That's what I'm calling my dick from now on. Come on, Roberto. You're letting the side down here. Make a comedy name. Join in the fun. What's the matter with you? Licky Rondo! Stop, Licky. Hey, do me a favour, will you? If you guys ever need to credit me with something on a thanks list or whatever, could you credit me as Pegasus abortion. It looks like Emily's hooking up with Frankenstein's sexier brother there. Whose dick did you say they stitched onto you? John Holmes, baby. Swear to God. That's it. That's your lot. Nice scene of Emily and Frag standing with acrobatic precision on top of some trees. Or on some grass looking at a very small cliff. The end! ... Some more like... The end. There's a post-credit scene I'm clinging on for here. You won't want to miss it. Swear down. Here we go. You'll be happy you stayed for this. Oh, he's waking up. No, it's cool. He's gone back to sleep. You're welcome.
Bitch, how we do things downtown.